Today we are going to talk about one of the time-saving technologies for writing documents. It's called Latex, and we are going to see the basics of what it is and what tools we can use. We can also talk about online available tools that we can work on. If we don't want to install something, we can use online tools. And we will start how to work with LaTeX documents and begin with the structure, some codings, in fact, and we will end up with. Okay. Welcome, May. Then at the beginning, we are going to talk about the LaTeX and its benefits, and we'll talk about the steps to create the file, and we will then actually create a LaTeX file. Yeah, it's a markup language like HTML or RTF. That means you are going to write a code to state what the document should look like. And basically, it is text, but LaTeX is built on top of text to simplify the coding process. And it's not a word processor. It's not like Microsoft Word. It's not like OpenOffice and so on. And it can be written on any text editor, but to save time, it's better to use other editors. We'll be taking some examples right today. And you will write the codes of what the document should look like, the formatting, the entering equation, image, everything is done by writing codes. And its benefits are you don't waste any more time for editing a document, because if you modify a document in Microsoft Word or any other word processing system, it will fail after the next edit. And in especially in our case where we are going to write a big document, our thesis, it will have a lot of edits. It will have a lot of changes from supervisors and from colleagues or whoever reads your document, and then the structure of the document changes every now and then, and you should not waste your time editing the format. So the other benefit is you can reproduce the editing, the formatting. That means if you finish the formatting for the first chapter, you are done with the formatting. Then you can only work on the content for the rest of the chapters. And it's also a de facto standard for scientific publications. The outputs of LaTeX is consistent throughout different platforms. So the documents that you wrote on Unix is similar in look and feel on Windows or Mac. But that's not the case for word processing software. If you create some docx file on Windows, it will open in a different form on Linux if at all it opens. And LaTeX is very effective in very large documents. And above all, it is free. So these are the benefits, and there are more benefits that we can list, but that's enough for this. The challenges to using LaTeX, the biggest challenge is its steep learning curve, because you are going to learn some codes to create what the document should look like. And the good thing in our team is we can level, or at least bring down the curve to a limit of leveling the curve by sessions like this webinar. So we share our expertise and our knowledge, and we can level the steep curve. And the other advantage is once you know how to do the coding and how it works, there are a lot of templates that you can use, which are available online for free. So you will only worry about the content. The other challenge is when when anyone, supervisor or client or whoever, wants strictly a document in doc or docx or ODT or any other format apart from PDF. I don't think that's the case in this day. So if there is anyone, the target for whom you are preparing the document says, "Oh, I don't want PDF or I don't want PS files," then you will be forced to not use LaTeX, and that's a second challenge. To create LaTeX documents, there are a lot of editors, and this Wikipedia page has an extensive, a detailed comparison of available documents. Available editors are there on this wiki page, and we can see this page. So we can see the comparison of text. So we do the comparison here. There are a lot of editors available here, and the criteria are whether you edit the source or whether you have a what you see is what you get interface, and the criteria uh, which operating system these editors are created for, and the version and the cost, whether it is free or a commercial system, and the license, whether it is proprietary or free GPL or whatever, and whether it is highly configurable. There are many criteria that you see. And whether it organizes projects, and then you can see the green and the red markings here, and with a lot of green marks. Eclipse has a lot of green in a row, and the others, as you can see, yeah, there is also that. And Text Studio, this is my choice because it has a version for Linux, Windows, and Macintosh, which is not the case in others, I see, in most of them at least. And for Text Studio, you have it's the latest version in 2015. That is, it's continuously improved, and it's free game, and it is open source. It creates PDF files, and it is configurable. So you can see many of these options based on this criteria, and then Text Studio has passed this. Then, yeah, basically this is how I chose which editor I have to use, and you may make any decision, any other editors if you like them to use. But for now, we are going to use Text Studio for this particular session. Okay. Then this is what Text Studio interface looks like. It has these three panes. Here it has a list of documents that you have. I mean, the sections, the document structure is put here, and you have the code section where you write your codes, and it has a preview section where it previews the look and feel of the final PDF document that you want. So we will see the whole interface of Text Studio right now. But let's see why we have to use Text Studio. Its benefits. It has auto completion, as you've seen in the previous slide here. Once you begin typing something, it finishes the code. It gives you a list of options for you to finish the code. It supports scripting. Example, you can write R code to generate a graph, and then you can embed it into this code. And it has assistance for creating, for putting image, tables, formulas, and so on. And it has graphic user interface to help you this. It will help you drag and drop support for images. You can drag an image and put onto the code. Then the code is written for you. It saves a lot of time in that way. And it also supports template systems. You create templates and reuse them. And it provides modern writing support, such as code folding. That means if you have many chapters, if you can fold a chapter and then you minimize the whole documents. Instead of scrolling down, you can fold the codes and see it has syntax highlighting, spell checking, long range word repetition, and so on and so on. And it has integrated PDF viewer, as we've seen already, and it has a live updating inline preview. Once you modify the code, you can see the updated output right away. It supports a versioning system, and it has integration of BibTeX or BibLatex bibliographic managers. You can export the code into HTML so that you can publish the code online, and it has many document lexical analysis facilities like spell checker we have already mentioned, a grammar checker, word distribution, word count, word frequency, yeah, count is a repetition, and phrase count. So these are apart from the benefits that are listed on the comparison. So when we want to install latex softwares that we want for Windows, we have to install MikTeX from this site, and for Linux, live text live is preferred from this site, and for Macintosh it is Mac MacTeX. And then these text live, the first three are used for uh, compiling the code, but the last one, Text Studio, is the editor. You can create the code on Notepad or whatever, but Text Studio will help you create the code very easily. And then you choose the application which is suitable for your operating system. You download and install it. And if you don't want to install anything, and you want to just write a code, you can use online tools such as ShareLatex. So sharelatex.com is it will help you create a code, and it's the page is similar to Text Studio. Let's have a look at it once. Oh, ShareLatex. So you can register for free and use as an individual. If you want to make a corporation, you must pay. And then it has a look and feel of Text Studio. That means it has a document structure here, and it has a code, and the output is also visible. So it's up to you whether you want to go for installing the system on your machine or use share latex or other systems. So let's have a look at the Text Studio user interface. And this is a Text Studio user interface once you install it. So you will have, once you create your documents, it will be the document structure will be put here, and anything that you create will be the sections and the chapters are put here. You can easily go through the bookmarks. So in the file menu, there's SVN, and also, okay, let me show the most important one. This is IDFX. This is where you have some commands for writing LaTeX. And other is this one, where you can enter the codes. You may not type the codes, but you can get the codes here on text. And for this is for mathematical codes, and you can also write with a wizard, which makes life easier. And for bibliography, to insert bibliography, and if you want to modify Text Studio, you can configure it here. So we will be back here to write some codes now. For now, let's proceed. Okay, so in general, in a nutshell, a document of LaTeX has two parts, a preamble and body. A preamble is a part of the document that contains the definitions, structure, and other list of required package and so on. The body contains the actual content and formatting. So the body is in between the begin document and end document. So you can write anything in between. So this is one sample document that's created with LaTeX. So you begin with document class. That's the first thing you have to do, and you define the kind of document, whether it is an article or a book or a report or a slide. If it is a slide, you have to put Beamer here, and you put the title, author, or anything here, and you begin document and end the document. So in between this, you create these scopes. The basic, very important symbols. There are many symbols that are used, but the most important ones are these four. This is a backslash, which shows the beginning of a command, and this one contains in between this opening angle bracket and this bracket, that is a list of optional arguments. You can put some options, you can leave them as well, but anything that is in between this curly bracket is mandatory. You have to put the arguments here. This modulus, this percentage, it's also called a comment. So if you put anything after this character, LaTeX will not compile it into the output document. It will not be compiled into a PDF document. So we will see that one as well. So let's set up the structure. This is one sample document which is created by iMindMap. Let's say our dissertation has these uh, one, two, three, four, you see 7 sections. It has a chapter rather. If we have 7 chapters, introduction chapter and problem chapter and method or data and so on. And if we have the sections under it and subsections and subsections. So we will put dissertation as an article or as a book, any that's up to you to decide. And then now let's create the document. Let's go back to Text Studio to create a document. Then we see inserting a title, inserting author, and inserting sections, subsections, and subsections. And we put paragraphs and other text. So this is, we start with new. We start with new, and then we begin with document class. So a document class can be an article or a book or a report or a beamer. Then we can put article or book. So we put the title here. So it has finished for us, and this is example title, and the author. The author is someone. So we put document beginning, begin anything between document and in document is the document that we want to create. So we can put something here. So if we write something here and we compile it, so you can go to this one and you can indent if you like to make it nicer. And now we compile it. So we come in here and build this arrow with double arrow, build and view. This one is only for compiling. So you compile or build and view will be a shortcut. You can view and build at the same time. So, okay, I did not save it. I have to save it first. So this is the document, the PDF document that's created on this side. So I can see, let me save this file on on my desktop. Let me save it as test something. Or okay. Okay, now I can put the title here, make title, and now we can run it, and we'll see the output here. It has a title here, example title. Someone wrote this document on the first page. This is put like this. So we may add more. We have put an author and title, and let's add sections and subsections. So in here we are going to put section or chapter introduction, and the other chapter was, you put chapter um, problem statement or whatever, and another chapter methods. Okay, now we compile it. We have many things that you would create on word processor. So this is a chapter, and then the heading that you would have done it manually, then this is done for you. So you may add table of contents here. So you put table of contents, then let's compile and see the output. Actually, this is the other thing that we're going to do. So let's add sections, subsections, and sub-subsections. And this in the first chapter, we have, let's come back to our skeleton document. In the introduction, we have background, problem, research, and scope. We have section, background, and section, research. And we have also subsection, what was it? And in research, we have research question and objective. So research question. So we can compile and see the output. So in the, we didn't put anything. So this is a table of contents. And in this first chapter, we have background, and the other is subsection, the two subsections, and this under this one we have subsection. So the look and feel, we can modify any, then we can write anything we like here. And so we create the same way for the whole of the documents. This was the code folding that I told you. So if you have many documents here, you can click this one and fold the whole document into this small line, in a single line. So you have this full chapter introduction, and if it has many pages on the code, it would take a lot of time to scroll down. So now we can create subsection, subsection, and anything. Then we can add subsection, sub, and so on. Now let's see how we can create lists, unnumbered and numbered lists. Okay. By the way, you can go to Latex and click the code. You can click the codes that you want from here. And sectioning, for example, it is a subsection and so on. Now, but I'm going to type the code myself. So begin. Oh no, too hasty. Begin um, enumerate. So we can put item and then put something and so on. So it will be put in a sequential numbering 1, 2, 3, and so on. We can have in as a bulleted list. You will only change enumerate as itemize. Begin ah, itemize. Then you put item one and so on. So if you want to put in an item and then bullet list, you can put it like this. So the definition of what this should look like, you put in the preamble. So I'm writing this one as a default because this is just the beginning. So let's see table of content. We have already insert. We can insert list of figures and list of tables with a simple line of code, list of figures and list of tables. So it will take care of which page it should fall in. So you have this list of figures here. You have list of tables here. The heading will put list of tables and list of figures if it takes more than one page. Now let's insert a figure. This is what we said already at the beginning. We can do, we can, oh, we can drag and drop an image into some place that we want. So let's drag some image on Dropbox on desktop. Let's look for okay this class diagram. Okay, now I dragged and put it here. Then it gives me to give some information that I want. And this is a document, the image, and then the label, and the position where it should be put. Yeah, I can decide. I will click OK. I'll follow the defaults. And if I compile it, I would see, yeah, okay, because it raised an error because I did not have a package that I will use for image. So use package, graphics, then I can compile to see the output. No, it's taking long. Now here, so I have put the image here, and then the code that is used for inserting an image is this one. It begins with figure, and then it's centering if you want to put it in the center. And so the caption, you can put the caption here, and example image, then it will put in the caption in figure 1.1. So you will not worry about the figure sequence numbering. That this example image comes in here, and then in the list of figures, it's already put. No, not caption. Didn't put the caption, but it's fine. It has to put though. Yeah. So it has already put the figure caption your figure in the list of figures. So as such, it will save a lot of time And the other is to create a presentation. To create a presentation with LaTeX, you only change the top, this one. Document class will be changed into from book into Beamer. So let's create one example. So this one is document class is Beamer, and then you begin document. You begin document, and every slide is called a frame. Every slide is called a frame. Now begin frame. Then you put a frame title. Then the title. So this is the end of a frame. You can put the document sections and so on that we've already done. You can create another frame. Uh, okay, frame title is second title. So when you compile it, you will see the output of the slide here, not the PDF. So this is the slide that's already created for you, and there are things that you have to modify the mode as presentation, and in here you may use theme. The themes Madrid. There are many themes that you can use, which are named by the capital cities of many countries in Europe and some other big cities, not only capital cities. So you may choose. You will get it on a Beamer documentation. Now, for Madrid, it's like this, and for Frankfurt, it will be different anyway. So you may choose any. Then the slide look and feel is already handled for you, and the date, the page number, and you don't have to worry about these things. Then you put the author and uh, title as some slide. Uh, okay, and author as someone again. So when you compile it, it will put the slide title and the author for you at the bottom, and its look and feel will be more professional. Okay, this is what I had in a nutshell, and there are a lot of details uh, to go in. So as a summary, it's very optimal for large documents such as thesis or dissertation, and you can reuse the latex structure, and it saves a lot of editing time. So there are many things that are left, as I've already said. Inserting graphics, you can put different graphics, different float. You can put it in the right and so on. And the animation and video, you can insert a video into your slide so that it plays. And you can also create charts, including Gantt chart. So you may create tables and indices and glossary and bibliography, and it works very fine with Zotero. So from Zotero, you may generate a bibliographic file and import that file into LaTeX, and you will get a very flexible bibliography. So to change the format of IEEE to ACM or other, you can easily change with a single line of code, and you can do presentations. You can install more packages as well. So there are list of references here. You may go for them. So I thank you. And